PkChris. A great way to start this top 32. They're going right into it. Let's kick it off.
All right, PkChris and Myles. PkChris actually climbing the rankings recently in New York, landing himself a top 10 spot. This guy's definitely been going crazy lately. Of course, as we know, a top 5 finish at Defend the North recently. And of course, Myles been making some moves here too. Ended up getting some good fusion placements. Both of these players have been playing fantastic. And I'm really excited to see these two go at it, see who's able to take this one, starting off top 52.
It's a very commonly known matchup here on Long Island from both ends, but one thing that I think is going to make a very interesting dynamic between these two players is that they're both very well studied. Not just in the basics of a matchup, but also the minor intricacies of their characters.
Oh, here we go. Now Myles trying to start something here. PkChris jumping in. Oh, yeah, just throwing out those safer aerials, trying to avoid that spacing with that Ness. PkChris kind of struggling to play around those egg tosses and now shield, because of course, you can't shield poke this character. Just one of the things we love about Yoshi.
Like, the way that you see all these buttons coming out from both ends, like, it looks silly. In a vacuum, this looks like mashing, but that's what they're looking for. They're looking for that tiniest bit of space where they could just win out, edge out an interaction, and even if it's just 1 to 2 hits, that little bit goes a long way.
1 to 2 hits, find the PK Thunder into land the PK Thunder. That's exactly what you need. PkChris doing fantastic starting off this game. That's what you got to do here. You need to just challenge things that Yoshi throws at you, because a lot of time he's going to run in your face. He's going to press A a lot of, and honestly, you have the disjoints and projectiles to do with it if you're PkChris. He's doing a fantastic job so far. Ooh, just barely making back the ledge there.
Oh, rising with the side magnets again onto stage, I think very smart. Just keeping a hitbox out at all times. One of the other things that I like to point out with Chris that I think is really smart, I'll talk about it later, because just the tiniest hit of daring manages to get Myles back on the board.
Oh my gosh, there we go. Drag down at the forward air though. PkChris finding a nice little edge guard here. Trying to catch that down air coming back onto the stage. Myles looking kind of confused, if anything, looking for an opening, trying to find something. Instead finding that F tilt to start, but again, not finding too much there. Oh, he's kind of struggling to find any damage right now.
He's trying his damnedest with forward tilt and up tilt, but one thing that's very plain to see from both of these characters is that both players want to be pressing buttons in the air, because that's where you're going to find a lot of that touch and go damage. You don't get an opportunity to really get your good combos started. And likewise, where these characters are the most vulnerable are after they've committed to a button in the air. Once they've jumped, once they've pressed an attack, that tiny bit of end lag is the only opening that they need.
That's the thing that separates these two characters, is that they're anti-air options for the ending of said combos, right? Like, Ness is fantastic up air to catch Yoshi when he overcommits a little bit. We see Yoshi has him facing him up airs. We're seeing that back air coming out from PkChris to close out the stock. Already seeing Myles down to his final stock of game 1. And like I said, like, just struggling to find any openings. PkChris doing a fantastic job of spacing with these disjoints. Almost finding the up smash there, but man, just literally anything, a nair, a forward air, a back air, or something to get a combo started. PkChris is absolutely having none of it.
You know, just doing what he can to keep max distance with the aerials and just constant pressure of the aerials being out. It means that no matter what, Myles is, in best case scenario, just trading with Chris. A great advantage state for Chris to keep the game in. Especially given how light Ness is, anything goes awry, Yoshi's tearing that stock apart. So the fact that Chris has done such a good job of boxing out Myles, in spite of him being very proactive with his spacing, a real command of the matchup.
Things about Ness too is that you're always keeping hitbox active, and then you don't really have a real chance to approach this character. PkChris looking for a down air, not finding that just yet. Myles again looking to find maybe a neutral beat here to find that egg lay. Forward air and upper is going to be some nice damage, avoiding that just barely with the DI. Going blow for blow here. Forward air into upper, still not closing it out. Amazing air dodge from Chris, and of course that back throw is going to do it. A very prominent 2-stock to start out this set from PkChris. Damn.
It just looks really clear that Chris knows like how much he gets to get away with in this matchup. And it's those little situations like there where Myles puts out a more unorthodox option and he gets to get away with it. I think Myles is going to need to try to hunt for more situations to put himself in like that, where Chris just doesn't have any buttons to press. He doesn't have that opportunity to turn even the slightest bit of advantage into a really solid reversal.
Yeah, that's the thing about Yoshi too, is that a lot of you struggle to approach these characters, these big disjoints like Ness back air, right? It's a really scary move because it comes out so fast and it's huge. But once you do find that opening, you can find so much damage. That's what we need Myles to be more proactive about in finding those back airs. You can find more of those up air into down air combos. That down air does 40% of that down air that we all know and love. We need to find a little bit more of those, and that's how Myles is able to take a lead here. Again, PkChris, though, starting off, doing a fantastic job of doing exactly the things he's been doing all game, keeping that space from this Yoshi.
One thing I'm trying to figure out, though, why Chris got a phone number for his in-game today? What's going on there?
Oh, hit his line if you need coaching.
Word.
Yo, bro, you struggling with Yoshi? This is exactly how you fight this character. Let me know, hit my line. Yo, bro, how'd you do that? I just back aired, man. That's all you need.
We were talking about Yoshi down air a little bit ago. One thing I want to bring out is you're probably going to have Ness down air burned into your screens by the end of this set, or at the very least this tournament. Seeing it a lot from Chris just because the move is a little wider than you'd anticipate, and you're constantly seeing Chris throw it out within its auto-cancel window, so he's always able to land and be able to put out something on the ground, whether it's a dash grab, whether it's run-up down tilt, whether he's just positioning himself for some other aerial nonsense. Just another layer of the constant hitbox pressure that Myles has to deal with.
Yeah, speaking of that pressure, that PK Thunder coming out again, absolutely putting a tear on this Yoshi, trying to catch his landing here with the backer, getting a little too overzealous with the up smash, and Myles finding that punish there too, catching the landing there with the forward throw, looking for an egg, and immediately following all the way down there.
That is a classic. Get the air dodge with the egg, hunt around for where they're going to move, button. Which one? A button. It's Yoshi.
He's not going to go that deep, right? Nope, he's going to go that deep. Every time he's going to go that deep. Ooh. Go finding that up air is again exactly what we need. Myles finding 73%, taking that lead in a very strong way, catching that air dodge, but not finding the punish just yet. Ooh, PkChris looking for the punish, of course, not finding the dash tag. Still trying to find anybody close to stock out forward air. Still not going to do it just yet.
While Myles can afford to get scrappy as he's working with the first lead he's had in the set, he's also got to be mindful that Chris could just as quickly build that percentage up on him and make his stock disappear. And that's what I want to see more of. I want to see more of taking advantage of the double jump armor. One of the most infamous aspects of Yoshi that is also probably his strongest, especially in an aerially oriented matchup like this.
Oh yeah, you can deny Ness Nair at the ledge, you can deny that up air, you can deny back air, and of course you can find even more of those combos. Of course, now we have the drag downs. Nice combo there from PkChris. 38%, not too much, but no, looking a little fancy. Okay.
It came out of nowhere, too.
Looking a little cute, a little cute. I'll give you that, Chris. I might text you
that's
about it later.
That's why you always got to appreciate the lab rats, because they just find situations like that, and you would think it's just a random hit, but they've labbed out situations like that. They know, oh, I can just do that here.
That's a situation you see someone post on Twitter like, yo, you're never going to land that in bracket. And then he landed in bracket! Oh my god! Okay, Chris, sorry. I will never disassociate your Twitter ever again. My fault, bro. You got that. That's, oh my god. Still, he's finding so much pressure there with those arrows, like I'm saying, those nairs, forward airs, putting himself back into it so quickly because those burst options from a character like Ness are just so potent and scary. As a character like Yoshi, it's so tough to get through these, right, sometimes. Oh, gosh.
Ooh. Sharking for it. He wants it. The fact that Myles is trying to move this battle more towards the ground, though, very good sign. Like, seeing that Chris kind of has the upper hand when it comes to the air-to-air bouts, and also taking advantage of Yoshi having a pretty solid dash speed.
There we go.
Quick observation skills are mark of a solid player.
Mm-hmm. Something you got to do in matchups like this, even where it's not really ideal, where Yoshi does play best in the air. You got to say, you know what? This guy's kind of dominating the air right now. Maybe if I stick on the ground, I have really good tilts. I can get this started. If I find a single here, I can bring this back to 80%. Suddenly, it's even game.
Yo, the egg from out deep into the 3 up airs, too. Myles finds a way.
Ooh. Okay, nice air dodge. Just barely avoiding that down tilt there. PkChris looking for something to find here. Nice. You clear that back air. Of course, not doing too much yet. First thing this Yoshi off stage. Going a little high and catching the landing with that back air. PkChris 2-0 over Myles.
And that's a Yoshi finding its way to the lower bracket. A very dangerous lower bracket, too. But Chris, one of the favorites to defend the island